Ghost: Secrets of the Old Train. Once upon a time, in a small town, something strange and terrible happened. Every night at midnight, the train rushed through the city, and no one knew where it came from or where it was going. This train was unusual because it was ghostly, and everyone who saw it said that it was so scary that it was beyond words. People in the city were afraid when it was midnight because they knew that this terrible train was coming soon. Some daredevils tried to look through the windows to see who was inside, but no one came back to tell what he saw. Jack ran as fast as he could, but the train was always out of reach. However, he did not give up and continued to run after the ghost train, despite the fact that they had already passed through several cities. Finally, the train stopped at the most remote place where there were no roads and living beings. Jack, not thinking about the consequences, decided to enter the train to find out who was inside. He went through all the cars but did not see anyone. But when he got to the last car, he saw a terrible sight. There were only the skeletons of those who decided to calculate the mystery of the ghost train. Jack realized that he, too, had fallen into a trap, and Jack's way out was to get on the train and wait for it to stop in the next town. But when the train started moving, Jack said that it was easier for him to fight for his life. Jack is qualified to be in a death trap and needs to find a way to get out of the train. He started the events of the last car, where the skeletons of other unfortunate people who got into the ghost train were discovered. But as the train continued to move, Jack noticed that the carriages gradually began to change. They grew older and more neglected, as if time passed twice as fast here as in the real world. In one of the cars, he found an old gramophone record that played dark music. He became scared and tried to get out of the car, but the door slammed behind him and he was locked inside. In the next car, he found the driver's cab, but it was empty. Jack went to the steering table and found on it an old leaflet that said, "This train leads to the world of the dead." He began to understand that the ghost train is a kind of gateway between life and death, and he must find a way to get back before it's too late. He continued to explore the cars and found a closed compartment that was filled with darkness and cold. He felt real horror when he saw that in the compartment was the silhouette of a man slowly approaching him. Jack closed his eyes and tried to concentrate to get off the train. He really wanted to return to the real world and live on. And then, suddenly, everything disappeared. Jack opened his eyes and found himself on the side of the road near the place where he had first seen the ghost train. He knew that this was a real danger, and he decided never to undertake such risky experiments again. He was grateful that he managed to get out of the train,